everybody, welcome to Dulcimerica. It is the penultimate show of 2017 and it has been an amazing year. Thank you for joining me. My name is Futch, and for the second to last episode of 2017 I thought I'd do something a little progressive and maybe a sign of things to come. What we've got here is a live camera setup. I've got cameras everywhere. I've got one right here. I've got one hanging out over my shoulder. I got one over here for reasons that will become clear after a while. Hello, phantom mystery camera. And we also have one positioned over here with our lovely table full of fun, as well as a screen that'll show you some of the websites I'll be pointing out during this episode. Basically, many of you may remember an episode I did a little while ago talking about the top 10 things you can do to improve your dulcimer playing. This is kind of like that, but more casual. Really, it's for beginners and it's for well-experienced players as well. Little things that we should be thinking about every single day when we sit down and play the mountain dulcimer. And they may seem like little things, they may seem like common sense things, but these things all combine together to make us better players in the future. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at these 10 things that we should be thinking about. Number one is going to be, believe it or not, relax and breathe and warm up before you play. You know, the dulcimer is our very, very special instrument. It's a beautiful little thing. It makes us happy. It takes us away from all the craziness we live with every single day. And if you've had a hard day at work, you've been fighting traffic, you've been having arguments with bosses and all kinds of stuff, and you come home and you want to sit down with your instrument, the first thing you should do is just take a break, stop, and do a little deep breathing exercises and a little muscle exercise and warm-ups for the hands. And this will get you in the right place, in the right frame of mind to sit down and enjoy your dulcimer the whole time you're spending time with it, as opposed to and blowing off the steam. So the first thing I want you to think about doing as he drops the pick and it goes off into oblivion, wow, that one disappeared pretty good. There it is. Take a nice deep breath from the belly. From the belly. Breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Keep your shoulders nice and level. Breathe deep. And then do it again. And you should feel your belly expand, and your chest cavity should expand as well. Nice, relaxed, deep breaths, just taking you down from that fight or flight response that we have all the time when we're living out there in the real world. Then, just kind of do like this with your neck, side to side, forward to back, and don't go like this in circles because that's really bad. Just go back and forth, side to side, loosen the shoulders up, get the arms all loosened up. It may look funny, but it feels great. Get those fingers all nice and loosened. You know, we're at risk of small motor repetitive injury, repetitive small motor injury. I think that's what it's called. We do a lot of typing and stuff like that, and we can strain our muscles and ligaments and things like that. So just kind of getting warmed up before we play is a good way to avoid that. And also do this and when you're done playing as a cool down. Stretch out the carpal tunnel area by getting those hands back like this. And after about 5 minutes of that, man, you're kind of blissed out and you are ready to have some fun with your mountain dulcimer. Now, along the same lines as that is going to be, make sure that you have good posture. Try not to slouch. You know, when we're playing our instrument, we like to kind of get close to it. In the jams, well, normally because we can't hear what's going on. So we're leaning down like this, which is really bad in the lower back. So you want to have an upright carriage as much as possible, feet flat on the floor. And I know sometimes it can be difficult to keep that dulcimer from sliding around. We'll get to that in a second. But you want to make sure that you got some lap to work with, feet flat on the floor. And if your chair is the issue, your chair might be too high. It might be creating kind of a shelf for that dulcimer to slide off of. A lower chair will allow you to get those legs more like this, parallel to the floor, so that you have a nice resting space down there. Now, even if you do that, you might have some issues with having a dulcimer sliding around, which is why I highly recommend getting an instrument strap. Now, I know a lot of people use the pieces of cloth, the stuff that they use to paper the insides of cabinets and things like that, and that kind of sticks with you, but still, it's something you got to fuss with. It doesn't take much to have your instrument drilled to have the buttons on the front, yahoo! And on the back. And then get yourself a nice strap. This is a very basic strap that's got the breakaway feature on there. So you can get in and out of the strap easily. And the most important thing, people laugh at this and they go, well, you're sitting down, and what do you need a seatbelt for? Well, the main reason for that is if you've got the dulcimer situated like this, let me get away from the clever lower third there. If it's like this, you're basically cutting yourself off from your upper octave, your second octave up here. And to get there, you got to do the dulcimer lean, which again is really, really bad for your back. So, and this is just sort of uncomfortable to have it, you know, you're going to have T-Rex arms trying to play the dulcimer. But with the strap, you can actually get the dulcimer away from you at an angle, like a 45, not exactly a 45-degree angle, but a diagonal away from you. And this does a few things. One, it clears that upper octave, that second octave, so you can get up there and play. It also gives you more arm room for your left hand or your fretting hand. Same thing if the dulcimer, if you're a southpaw, the dulcimer would go at an angle this way. It just gives you more room here to stretch out and be more natural with your approach to the fretboard. It also makes the optimum angle better for you playing down here with your right hand or your strumming hand. And it also gets the upper bout above your knee, which balances that dulcimer and stabilizes it and keeps it from bouncing all over the place, even though you do have the strap. What you do with it can affect the dulcimer and make it move around. So having that strap is really, really key to doing that, and it doesn't take much to get those strap buttons drilled and put on your existing instrument. Get a nice little strap and you're good to go with really nice access to your mountain dulcimer, and it's comfortable too. Now let's take a look at our next deal here, and that is going to be know your strings. Know what kind of strings you're using, know where to get them, and all of the things that come with that. And change them often, because nothing is better than fresh, beautiful strings. Now I know a lot of people have a hard time with the tuning because strings are breaking, and you know, when you're doing that thing it's very unpleasant sometimes, but it's worth it, trust me, to have a really good sounding set of strings. And one of the places I like to go is juststrings.com. They do sell dulcimer sets online. The problem with dulcimer sets is that they're often really wimpy. 0.010 for the melody string, 0.013 for the middle string. Any kind of pressure applied to those strings is going to make them go sharp, because there's just a lot of, you know, pliancy going on there. A little resistance is good. I like to use 0.013, and I'm going to switch over to the overhead camera so you can see this here. 0.013. I'll get this somewhere. There it is. 0.013 on the melody string, 0.016 on the middle string, 0.026 bronze wound on the bass string. I like that a lot. 16 is thick for a lot of people, but it takes up the slack on that A string and DAD tuning. 26 is a good size for a bass string, and 0.013 is light enough to be great for a melody string, but still heavy enough to give you good resistance when you pick against it. These are John Pierce strings, are pretty good. And I will take us over to the laptop screen, and this is juststrings.com, and you can buy them individually here, so you can just get single sets of strings and get whatever gauges you want. And I tend to get 5 to 6 different types of string of the same gauge to have them hanging around. But you'll find all different brands here. The prices are really good. They ship real quickly. And it's worth it to read up on a lot of these different strings and manufacturers and find out what their methods are. You'll find a new favorite in there, I'm sure. So that is juststrings.com. And they've got the best prices I found online. If you find someplace that's better, please let me know. All right. Next, we're going to go to using a tuner. And we're going to go over here to the table where we've got all of these neat little things assembled. And I've got a couple of real old tuners here. In fact, I don't know when the last time I changed the battery in that thing was, but I'll be gosh darn if it didn't turn right on. They don't make them like they used to, huh? So that is an old school tuner there that I'm trying to kill. And there is another tuner that's kind of old school. The tuner I like to use right now is a Peterson strobo clip. It's made by the Peterson Company, the guys that make all those fantastic $5,000 bench piano tuners. They're very accurate, and they use great, amazing technology in these things. It's a strobe tuner, so it does take some getting used to. It's not going to do anything right now because I'm not hooked up to anything, but these strobes move across the screen, and when the strobes are moving to the right, it means that you are sharp. If the strobes move to the left, it means that you're flat. If the strobes kind of stop in the middle, then you are in tune. You can put most tuners up against that Peterson right there, and most tuners will tell you, ding, 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 green light, you're in tune. And then put the Peterson on there, and it'll show that you're 1, 2, 3, even 4 to 5 cents off. And cents are the measurement, unit of measurement that we use when we're measuring this thing with the tuning. The Peterson is the most accurate on the market. Now, there's something I'd like to point out about this. As we go back over to the laptop, I'm going to get rid of this and dial in our Peterson page. First of all is the strobo clip that I just showed you is super awesome, and I love it to death. As you can see down here, Peterson has a new version of the strobo clip, HD it's called, and I've heard terrible things about this tuner. Not necessarily that the electronics are bad, but that the user interface is confusing, that the buttons aren't made very well, that you can sometimes go to push one button and you'll get another button instead. It seems kind of frustrating for a lot of people, and that is why I cannot recommend the new version of the strobo clip. So if you can find an old version of that tuner on eBay or Amazon, grab that one. That one is gold. The new strobo clip is cheaper, however, apparently it's just not doing the job. If you are having a hard time finding the old strobo clip, you could always, if you have a smartphone, Android or iOS, you can always get the mobile strobe tuner, also known as StroboSoft, and this is what I'll use in a pinch if my batteries die in my strobo clip, or if I can't find it for some reason. I'll use this app right here, and it is fantastic. Again, it takes a little getting used to reading the strobe, but once you do, you'll probably never go back to the lights or the needle again. And a tuner is important if you want to play with others. Absolutely. All right. Now, this is also important for expanding your horizons, not only being able to play in tune, but also being able to play in different keys. And that is, go ahead and purchase a CAPO if you don't already have one. Now, Ron Ewing has been making these CAPOs for a very, very long time. And they are sturdy. They're like 25 bucks or something. These are really, really good tuners. Ergonomic, organic, very, very nice indeed. And these, of course, allow you to move your situation as far as the tuning. Putting it at the first fret will give you E minor, third fret G major, fourth fret A major or A minor, second fret F sharp minor. Doesn't happen a lot, but it does. So this enables you to do a lot of really fun things, basically. And of course, expand your range and your horizons. Now, my favorite, and I don't have it right here on this Dulcimer, as we go back over to the laptop, boing, my favorite is the Dudley Brass CAPO. It's a quick release CAPO, as you can see here on the McSpadden Mountain Dulcimer website. They are temporarily out of stock. There's a reason for that. People love this CAPO, and as you can see, it's not cheap. It's about $40 more than your basic wooden CAPO, but it'll last you a lifetime, and it's phenomenal. It's quick release. You set it for the width of your fretboard, and then you put it on, and when you're ready to take it off, you lift the lever, and you take it off. It's fantastic. Only thing I'll say about this is that there are people out there making cheap knockoffs of the Dudley Brass CAPO. You want to be aware of those. Make sure it's a Dudley Brass CAPO. There's a patent out on this design, and if it's not a Dudley, it's crap. Probably. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Anyway, so take a look for that. McSpadden gets them back in stock every now and again. You can find them other places online. And definitely worth the expense because they are fantastic. Nope, it's not Holiday Masterclass. Hit the wrong button. The magic of a live Dulcimerica. So awesome. All right, now we are going to go to number 7. Number 7 is use a metronome. That was part of our list from a couple of years back, top 10 ways to improve your playing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the number 1 place for you to find a metronome. That's going to be right here, I kid you not, at metronomeonline.com. This place exists purely for you to click this button and it's going super slow. Let's put it on 108. There we go. That is a strange and funky metronome. It's doing something bizarre. Maybe they're having an off night. In any case, normally it doesn't do that. But if you're having trouble with metronome online, there of course are a lot of places where you can get metronomes, and of course on your smartphones you can also get free metronomes that you can use. The bottom line here is that you should use one every single day, and that you should calibrate your inner clock. Play slowly, 68, 69 beats per minute, and that'll tighten you up and make it easier for you to play slower, because it is more difficult to play slow than it is to play fast. Number 8. This is something that you wouldn't really think about, but it's key to playing more, is get yourself a dulcimer stand. So that's what this camera is for back here. It's focused on my Z stand, and this is made by Zither Music Company out of Texas. And this is a lovely stand. This is the best stand for mountain dulcimers and other instruments I've found on the market. One of the reasons being is a lot of mountain dulcimer stands are A-frames, and the dulcimer lays up against it and ends up getting beat up in the process. So this has got a nice elegant design where it actually curves away from the dulcimer so the dulcimer does not touch it. Works with guitars, bass guitars, saxophones, ukuleles. You can switch out this head right here on the top to handle whatever instrument that you've got. And it's got a very wide base. It's very, very sturdy, beautiful wood, and an elegant design. That's Zither stands, also known as Z stands. Zither USA is the website, which you can find right here as I get rid of my overlay. They won Best of Show with this stand at the Winter NAMM in Los Angeles and Summer NAMM in Nashville, Tennessee. And it's a fine, fine product. So get that dulcimer on a stand. Now why? Why not just put it in the case and let it hang out? Well, the reason being is if it's sitting there on the stand, looking at you, winking at you, letting its presence be known, you're probably going to want to pick it up and strum on it a little bit, love on it. And that is going to make the dulcimer very happy, which in turn is going to make you very happy. So leave your dulcimer out where you can actually see it. So as you're busy day to day, running back and forth, when you see that thing sitting there, just stop for a second. Take time out of your day if it's really, really busy. Sit down and just strum for a little bit, and then put it back on the stand and keep doing what you're doing. If you play a little bit every day, you're going to develop a connection with that instrument. You'll make it a habit, somewhat of a routine, and before you know it, you'll be forcing yourself to play every day. You're going to be carving that time, stealing those hours away just so you can sit down and play with your mountain dulcimer if you're not doing it already. Next, we've got this, Condition and Restore. And we're going to go over to the display table where I have got a bottle of Howard Feed and Wax that is out of frame now. There it is. Howard Feed and Wax is part of a 2-part furniture conditioner. What you do is you just rub it on the dulcimer with a rag, let it sit for 20 minutes, and then buff it off. It's got lemon oil in it. It's really, really good. It conditions the wood and makes for a very, very happy dulcimer. So take care of your instrument. Keep it fresh so it won't crack on you or split, especially if you're living in dry locations. And you can also get damage in moist locations, so make sure that you are taking care of the instrument, and of course it will take care of you. And finally, not the last, it is the last, but it is not the least, fellowship. You know, you've got your dulcimer and you've got your tuners and your metronomes, and you got all the stuff that you need to be happy and play. You got your stand, you're playing every day, but that could get really lonely, and really you learn a lot and you have a lot more fun when you play with other people. So by all means, join a dulcimer group, and I know that can be difficult. Sometimes where you live may not have any sort of other people playing dulcimer. In that case, you might be able to start your own dulcimer group. Find some people, get a bunch of cardboard dulcimers, teach them how to play, and then before you know it, you have a group. This has happened more times than you would imagine, and it's really awesome to see a group grow from 3 people to 53 people in the course of 4 years. I'm looking at you, the Dutchland Dulcimer Gathering folks out there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, who had a small group, and then poof, they're putting on their own festivals. It could happen. If you build it, they will come. So definitely hang out, and also you may want to take private lessons. That'll help. A lot of people like myself do Skype lessons. Stephen Seifert, Wendy Sanj, all kinds of people do Skype lessons online. So if you can't get away from where you're living, you can always get online and have a little bit of fun learning something from somebody else. And of course, there's always the festivals. Tons of festivals all across the country. Make it a chance, if you get a chance, make it make it a point to get out and go to a festival. Your life will be changed forever, and before you know it, you're going to be going to lots and lots of festivals and retreats every single year. Those 3 things, Dulcimer Club, private lessons, and going to festivals, will give you all kinds of fellowship and lots of education and information that'll help make you a better dulcimer player all around. Well, my friends, this is the second to last show, and we've come to the end. We got one more show left, and we're going to find out what your top 10 Dulcimerica episodes are, and also what Google Analytics say are the 10 most popular episodes. This has been a blast. I hope you guys have had fun. Play a little bit every day, my friends, and if you're a brand new mountain dulcimer player, welcome to the family. We'll see you out there on the road sometime soon. Until next time, this is Bing Futch saying happy holidays. We'll see you soon.